Hello friends, we are here to guide you about the services rendered by a CCC or Certified Credit Counselor. Let me begin with the first step of this service, which is filling the loan application. The application form contains these components: brief details of the applicant unit. It involves details like name of the unit, address, contact details, area of activity, date of incorporation, Udyog Aadhaar memorandum details, etc. Details of promoters. This section deals with names of promoters, address, contact details, educational and professional qualifications, net worth, work experience, shareholding pattern, etc. Description of products manufactured. This section deals with product description, installed capacity, etc. Details of associate concerns, if any. Details of the existing credit facilities. Details of project cost and means of finance. Projections and profitability statements.
The project cost can be bifurcated under these major heads. And the means of finance can be bifurcated under these major heads.
This takes us forward to the next step, a business plan or project report. A project report is a document which gives an account of the project proposal to ascertain the prospects of the proposed plan or activity. The project report contains detailed information about land and building required, manufacturing capacity per annum, manufacturing process, machinery and equipment along with their prices and specifications, requirements of raw materials, power, water and other utilities required, manpower needs, markets, cost of the project and production, financial analysis and economic viability of the project, environmental aspects, profitability projections and cash flow for the entire repayment period of the financial assistance applied for.
In case you are applying for a non-manufacturing project, you may omit the manufacturing related information. Since the appraisal of the project involves evaluation of the projects in these areas, your unit would be required to submit certain documents and/or information in the matter.
Because the management has to be evaluated, these details have to be provided. In case of a company, the memorandum and articles of association, object, authorized and paid up capital, promoters' contribution, borrowing powers, list of directors on the board, and terms of appointment of directors. If your company is the promoter, corporate plan of the company, projects promoted or implemented or under implementation, bankers' report on dealings and repayment of past loan assistance, details of group companies, operations, balance sheet and profit and loss account of the promoter company. About the promoters, their educational background, experience, family background, sources of income, details of personal properties, banker's reference, income tax returns, etc. And then we come to details on management and organization setup, broad composition of the board, details of full-time directors and their responsibilities, details of chief executive and functional executives including qualifications and experience, organization setup for existing unit and during project implementation for new unit.
The next is technical feasibility. Under this, the first is about technology and manufacturing process, whether proven or new technology, basis of selection of technology, performance data of plant based on the technology, details of licensor of technology, process flowchart and description, and then location of the project, the locational advantage, availability of raw material and other utilities, infrastructure facilities, availability of labor and environmental aspects. Plant and machinery, list of machinery and equipment, details of suppliers, competitive quotations, technical and commercial evaluation of major equipment. And then raw material, utilities and manpower, details of raw materials and suppliers, electricity and water supply, basis of manpower estimates, details of manpower, for example, managerial, supervisory, skilled or unskilled, training needs, etc. Then contracts, agreement with contractors detailing on know-how, engineering, procurement, construction, financial soundness and experience of contractors. And lastly, project monitoring and implementation. Here we exemplify mode of implementation, details of monitoring team, detailed schedule of implementation.
Environmental aspects are very important, and so information on air, water and soil pollution, list of pollutants or hazardous substances, their safety, handling and disposal arrangements, compliance with national standards, clearances and no objection certificates required from Pollution Control Board and whether obtained, etc.
The project must have a commercial viability and so provide details of existing and potential market demand and supply for the proposed product in respect of volume and pattern, share of the proposed product of the company in the total market through a marketing strategy, selling price of the product and export potential if any.
After these details are provided, we have to present the financial appraisal in greater details. First, the cost of the project. This includes the cost of land and site development, building, plant and machinery, technical know-how and engineering fees, miscellaneous fixed assets, preliminary and pre-operative expenses, contingencies, margin money for working capital. Your unit is expected to submit realistic estimates and reasonableness of the cost of the project, which will be examined with reference to various factors such as implementation period, inflation, various agreements, quotations, etc. Then we have means of financing. Means of financing shall have to conform to proper mix of capital and debt. This includes share capital, unsecured loans from promoters and/or associates, internal accruals, term loan, government subsidy or grant, reasonableness of promoters' contribution in the form of equity and interest-free unsecured loans if any. All this is ascertained in view of commitment to the project. We then come to profitability projections. Past records of financial performance of your unit will be examined. Your unit needs to submit profitability estimates, cash flow and projected balance sheet for the project and for the company as a whole. Now, based on the projections, various financial ratios will be derived, such as debt-equity ratio, current ratio, fixed asset coverage ratio, gross profit, operating profit, net profit ratios and internal rate of return, which is over the economic life of the project, debt service coverage ratio, earning per share, dividends payable, etc. Now, these factors would be worked out to ascertain financial soundness of your project.
And lastly, the economic viability of the project. Your unit will have to take real value of input as against the value accounted in financial analysis for the purpose of economic evaluation of the project. Your unit should carry out social cost benefit analysis as a measure of the costs and benefit of the project to the society and the economy. The economic analysis is aimed to study the inherent strength of the project to withstand international competition on its own.
I'm sure you have understood all these components of filling the loan application.
Thank you for your attention. We are here to help you.